What's good, YouTube? Haloe369 back again with another one. All praises to the Most High YAHUAH, and all praises to Yahusha, the one that lived for us, then died to his flesh for us, then died on the stake for us, and was resurrected by the Most High YAHUAH, creator of heavens and earth, for us to have the Ruach HaKodesh. Now, know what time it is. You know what that was? Me quickening the Ruach HaKodesh. Alright, let's begin. Oh, ran into a revelation, y'all. Oh, we. I was debating on having this conversation. So, if you're new to the channel, pull up, have a seat. Let's have a conversation. And if you're a regular here, I hope everything's been good with you. I hope you've been blessed. I hope you've been reading your word and understanding it and practicing. And practicing using the Ruach HaKodesh so you can bear fruit for the Most High, YAHUAH. Remember, we take no glory over here for ourselves. And I appreciate every last one of y'all that watched my last video, decided to comment, every last one. I truly appreciate y'all. And I'm going to extend that teaching because, man, I ran into a revelation that's mind-blowing for me anyway. Well, not really mind-blowing. I mean, it's expected because I'm living it. And then I see it. Also, hit that like button. I'm pretty certain you're going to enjoy the conversation. Yep. So let's begin. Let's get to it. The topic of discussion is why YAHUAH prefers cold or hot and not lukewarm. Alright? He does not prefer lukewarm. He will spit you out. He needs cold or hot. And as I got to understanding, excuse me, y'all. But, yeah. So I got to understand something. Especially about, these unbiased laws, because they're unbiased. My bad, y'all. My bad. Alright, so now the laws work how they work. Let's get this out the way. The laws work how they work. I said in my last video. They work for the wicked and the righteous alike. Okay? And And Yahuwah is beginning to wake up out of his rest. Okay. Remember, he's in an active rest state. So he's moving around quietly, waking individuals up. I didn't know it at the time. And I noticed something because, man, okay, y'all, I'm gonna just get to it. I'm sorry, because I really debated about having this conversation. This one is, you might find it weird. Some of y'all might understand. Some of y'all, but most of y'all, I think mostly everyone will understand what I'm saying, though. Uh, all right. So let me begin with the way that our heart and our mind communicates with the Most High Yahuwah is through our perception, meaning our created imagination. Okay? Now, regardless of the intention behind it, once again, it's able to come to fruition. Now, remember, I said that you can't plant a seed in a hard heart. That's only half of it. All right. Now you have an open heart. You can have an open heart for wickedness and righteousness. It's unbiased. Everything is unbiased. And I noticed this, okay? So since it's unbiased and unlike, the only thing that keeps us safe is the fact that we suffer rewards on both ends, okay? We suffer reward on both ends with the Most High, Yahuwah. This is why he prefers cold, or hot. He does not prefer lukewarm. And what I mean by that is, if you're actively in a prayer state, all right, so one thing I realized about an active prayer state, guilt, it disrupts your pattern. It brings a lot of chaos and it separates you, which is why he prefers cold or hot. People that have apathy, they do not experience guilt, which is why they're so successful. Most people that have a lot of apathy, and are guiltless wrongfully. Don't get me wrong, it's wrong to be that way. But the way the Most High's laws work, if you have a steady direction or a steady uninterrupted pattern going in a direction, and most people that have apathy, their pattern doesn't get interrupted, because regardless of how you feel, they're going to get it done regardless. Whether it's bad or good, rather it's evil intention behind it or good intention behind it, right? In their minds, it's a strict consistent line, which is something that I notice when I see these people manipulating the laws to their benefit and the invisible laws. Remember, so I'm saying your heart and your mind has to be like, because your heart can be open, and also it also uh, can be moved in a wayward way, which is why I'm very careful about how I teach y'all. All right, because a lot of this stuff is active, and people do things to kind of invoke different entities into their lives off of the strict it's off of a strict uninterrupted concentration. It's an uninterrupted concentration. Now for those that experience guilt or empathy, you know, for their fellow man, which is what Yahusha did, and those people that have a hard time getting their prayers to come to fruition is because you have a lot of inner turmoil, or you're lukewarm. You lukewarm, which is why he said he'll spit you out, and he prefers hot or cold. So he like basically Yahuwah wants you to make a decision. You gonna be hot or you gonna be cold? Now, if you're gonna be cold, I'm, I mean, you already chose your place, but at least you made a choice. Now, if you're gonna be hot for him, meaning you're gonna either be good or bad. Having no morals is bad. There is a right and a wrong. But those that have apathy don't experience right or wrong. They experience no moral, they experience no moral restriction at all. They abide by the laws, and they have a strict structure that they follow. But and I can attribute apathy to actors, people that act, or people that have just different personality traits or great charisma and charm, and are physically appealing. They have a lot of apathy, meaning they're entitled behavior. That means they're confident in their wickedness. And the laws work to their favor because they don't experience guilt. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Well, no, I'm saying it's wrong to be that way. It is wrong. The Most High states very clear that that's wicked. Okay? But he also understands that I gotta make y'all aware. And I'm supposed to make y'all aware. Be careful about how you pray. Alright? Be careful. Because whatever you imagine in your heart and your mind does come to fruition. That actually happens. whether it be bad or good. Now, the invisible laws are unbiased, which is why you see so many get away with so much. I didn't get it at the time, but the Most High made it clear to me. Yeah, I'll wake you up in secret if you have a heart for me. If you have a heart for the Most High Yahuwah, he'll wake you up. However, once he wake you up and once he show you, you have to be very careful about how you see things going. You have to be very careful about how you emotionally observe, because your eternity is in jeopardy. Those people that have apathy and are very successful and cutthroat in their business because they do not care about people's emotions and they have no sense of guilt. Because don't get it twisted, business people, they can feign having a sense of guilt. And then but see, and this is another thing too that I learned too. Empathy, me having empathy, I understand what apathy feels like. I'm gonna say that again. Me having empathy, I understand what apathy feels like. It's still an emotion. Even though people say it's not an emotion, that's not true. Apathy is an emotion. It's a very real thing. Apathy, they say apathy is the absence of emotion. No, it's not. It's just you're able to walk around uninterrupted and guiltless. When you feel shame, or when you feel shame for the spirits that you open your heart up to and let them in, this is what causes you chaos. Now, a lot of these people have mastered how to use apathy and also how to feign, how to feign their signal, which is why the Most High said our works, our works mean nothing. It's because you can still perform miracles and be in a state of apathy. You can still perform miracles. And I mean, just think about how Pharaoh was able to still perform wizardry and have sorcerers and warlocks around. Just think about Saul, how Saul, when he was a king, think about how he went to those that practiced witchcraft and picked up and he used them. He used them that have witchcraft in them, right? And the Most High is against witchcraft. It says it in the word. So he kicked them all out of the city, but then he went and found one so he could resurrect Samuel. So he tried to resurrect Samuel to get him to give him another prophecy because he leaned so much on Samuel. Okay, it's all wicked, all right? I want to make y'all aware. That's really what I'm trying to get you to do. A lot of times when people use these gifts that they have, they perverse the Ruach, which is Ruach Ha-Satan, unclean breath. unclean breath. And Satan is not Lucifer. They're not the same. Lucifer was taken over by Satan or Hasatan. They are nowhere the same. It's just like saying Yahusha and the Holy Spirit are the same, or the Ruach HaKodesh are the same. They are not the same. It's like saying Yahusha and Yahuwah are the same. They are not the same. They are on one accord. They are on one accord, but they are not the same. Do not allow yourself to fall into that trap. And once you start seeing stuff working out for you, when you imagine stuff like imaging stuff and then having it actually act out in front of you, and you start seeing because me personally, this is why I've had a hard time. I've been a lukewarm individual, you know, in it when I want, like, doing things that I know I feel guilty about, which is guilt interrupts your concentration, and it brings chaos. Okay, now these people know how to operate without guilt, which is why they're so successful in their endeavors. And I'm not saying it's right. It is definitely wrong. There is a right and a wrong. Now, these people, they don't believe in right and wrong. Okay? There's a lot of people that don't believe in right and wrong. They're just like, we are gods. And that's a whole nother thing that I want to touch on later. But just hear me out. Hear me out. It's a lot of people that practice these laws, and it works out for them with no repercussion because they know how the law work without acknowledging Yahuwah or Yahusha or the Ruach HaKodesh. Because also these people are using technique of prophesying, okay? It's a technique of prophesying that people can use for themselves. When the Ruach HaKodesh tell me to pray, I pray. But I lean into the Ruach HaKodesh. I'm not trying to command the Ruach HaKodesh. The Ruach HaKodesh commands me. I'm not trying to command Yahuwah. Yahuwah commands me. I'm not trying, like, it's his will, not mine. It was his will for me to warn y'all. Pay attention. See what I was doing? I was quicker than the Ruach HaKodesh. I'm going to continue to quicken the Ruach HaKodesh. But follow me, y'all. Follow me. Most High, he told me to warn y'all about the, it's a lot more detrimental than you really think it is. And your prayers aren't answered because you're lukewarm. You don't walk in truth. When you walk in a truth, whether it be completely negative or positive, but most people, now this is where the deluge comes in. most people get to live out their vain imaginations. Vain, which is in vain. Okay? Listen to me. When I say in vain, just think about all the nonsense we got out here. We got people having lucrative success in, you know, wickedness, okay? Just put it that way. OF, wickedness. Uh, People that participate in, uh, you know, the industry. You know what I'm talking about. People that participate in that, they have success. And then also, it's also a form of witchcraft because they're exchanging demons. They're exchanging demons, powerful demons, as long as they're feeding the demons. They don't, they get to do whatever they want to do. Now, the moment they starve these entities crash out. They crash out. You see them wanting to off themselves, or they want to, all types of dysfunction going on. All right. They in a state of depression all the time. They don't know how to function because they've been operating in that evil spirit. Oh yeah, it's stuff that come behind not having morals. There's stuff that come behind that. And then the ones that are apathetic, those people do whatever they do in a callous nature, and I can't even say callous. I'm gonna just say open-hearted to wickedness, wayward hearts, but open, meaning they have completed their wickedness. They are heart and mind in wicked, extreme behavior. And then there's heart and mind in righteousness. Okay? So this is why you see these people that are completely successful and know how to and they know how to got charisma, know how to manipulate and trick your mind into wanting to do witchcraft, because that's what it is. Also worshiping yourself, take you away from the Most High Yahuwah. But I see it. I see what's happening. I'm not telling you something that the Most High not telling me to tell y'all. And it came to my attention while I was outside exalting the Most High, right? And then the Most High was like, because I was like, what do I supposed to talk about today? And I started having all these visions about these chaotic things that are occurring and why they're occurring. Not really worried about the how. And most people, they don't even know how they got there. They're unaware. Now the higher ups or the ones that know, those are the ones that the ones that are not the Most High's children. I'm gonna put it that way. The ones that are not the Most High's children, and I could call out names, but I'm not about to do that. For he said for me to not worry about chastising the wicked. So I'm not going to chastise the wicked. He told me not to. He told me to get his in line. Don't worry about don't worry about the principalities in high places. Don't don't be worrying about the principalities in high places. Don't be worrying about the darkness out here. Don't worry about these people that operate in darkness. You can't do that to yourselves. You're giving them emotional attention. Don't worry about them. Allow the Most High to take care of them. You take care of your righteousness so you can make it into the new earth or his heaven's kingdom, which his city of gold. When you make it there, you know, concentrate on making it there. Concentrate on the emotions and feelings. Now, people that operate in apathy, which is the exact opposite of empathy, but they don't understand it's still a feeling. I know it's still a feeling because I felt apathy. And I know that sounds paradoxical. I know it sounds like an oxymoron, but it's true. Being honest, apathy is a feeling. It's a feeling that goes unchecked as a feeling. They don't call it a feeling because you don't experience emotion, but you really do. You really experience emotion. And in a state of apathy, you experience emotion. It's just perverted. It's just perverse in its ice cold. It's an uninterrupted pattern. Uninterrupted. Now, for those that know how to completely operate with the Most High, and this is how I know what apathy feels like. But it's because it teeters. It's not the. How can I put this? It kind of teeters. It's like real close to accepting forgiveness from the Most High. It's really close, but it's not that. All right, it's not that because you get in a state of apathy, you have no morals. In a state of apathy, you don't feel bad for nothing you do wrong or incorrectly. You just do in a state of apathy, which is why people that have extreme arrogance or confidence and hard-heartedness and calculatedness, why they are so successful is because they have an uninterrupted state of concentration. Concentration. Because, like, let's put it this way: when you know something's wrong, you instantly feel bad. Most of the time, most people instantly know when they doing something wrong. Now, people, and it's a rare case, which is why it's like 1% of the population, 1 to 3% of the population, they either are extremely apathetic or they have a zen about them, which is, extremely high in concentration, extreme high in concentration. All right, uninterrupted pattern. Or regardless of how they feel, they ignore how they feel. Now, the ones that ignore how they feel to live for the Most High, that's akin to a state of apathy. It's akin to it, meaning, regardless of whether this person decides they want to guilt trip me, I don't feel bad for telling them no because I know that it is wrong for me to give in to that, regardless of how I feel. Okay, you see the difference? Now, I still feel something. Now, with the state of apathy, they just gonna tell you no. And stick to their guns regardless of how they feel. There's no Ruach Hakodesh. There's no, well, there's a spirit operating in them, but it's not the Ruach Hakodesh. It's Ruach HaSatan. So it's different. And also, people in the state of apathy kind of, they only look for benefit. They don't look for to benefit you. That's another thing too. Uh, if you don't bend to my will, you're not useful to me. Now that's the same way with the Most High. Think about it. They very close, very similar. Like these states of being. They're very close. But one is more one is cold, one is hot. Yahuwah allows the vain imaginations to actually come to pass. People don't understand that either. Those vain imaginations that people have, they actually come to pass. And then a lot of them, they end up getting life put in jeopardy. And some of them, they do this to themselves, or the ones that have an elite practice in it, they just trying to live forever. They don't care. They just trying to live. Like they just trying to indulge themselves in pleasure, indulge themselves in whatever it is they trying to indulge themselves in, and they can play a good game. Like they can play a good game, and so like the art of it, because it's like a art of manipulation or man, I'm telling y'all this because I want to warn y'all to not become like this. That's one. Two, I want y'all to be aware of these behaviors that are out here. So, when you run into somebody, they got these qualities. And because there are many that have these qualities and don't understand what it is. They show no sympathy for the wrong that they do, or they're instantly disconnected from taking any type of accountability, because that's what apathy is too. Like, you have no sense of guilt, so how can you take any accountability for anything? Or regardless of the consequences, I accept the consequences. And that's kind of how people with apathy work. Regardless of the consequences, I accept all that come with it. I'm still gonna go through with this. Yep. And that's the same way when you work for the Most High. Regardless of how I feel, I accept all consequences as long as it pertains to righteousness. You still have morals intact. You still have empathy intact. However, regardless of how much you feel for somebody, you have to do what you have to do. Regardless of your intent, you know, the intention, the heart and the mind, intention still matters. And that's why I said, like with the Most High, He know your heart when He see you, when you make your decision. Because it's not like how, like every free will has its place. All right, free will has its place. People are readily active in their free will and doing things that go against righteousness altogether. And they took the Most High up out of it, which is another thing. They don't have Yahuwah is still an organic being. He's still organic. Like we are, he's organic. Now, his his body is different than our body because he is Yahuwah, breath. Ruach Yahuwah, breath and fluid. Breath and fluid. That's another thing too. I'm gonna touch on that later, breath and fluid. But I'm just trying to give y'all heads up with when y'all deciding to pray. Be hot or cold. Now whatever fruit you bear, because an open heart still can't operate in wickedness. Yeah, an open heart can still operate in wickedness. And apathetic people, they heart is open to whatever. They gonna do whatever pleases them or pleases their flesh or whatever the case may be, whatever carnal behavior that they can sit and conjure up in their mind, they are able to perform the act with no guilt at all. Now, the difference between those that are extremely righteous, they feel bad, but in spite of them feeling bad, they still go through with a process. Now that's the difference. And you can't tell a lot of time. Now me, I'm discerning. I serve the Most High Yahuwah. I'm not egotistical. Most people that have apathy, they still have an ego. Yeah, they have an ego. And so, regardless of what you feel like, you're not going to trump what they want to do. And that's how that goes. Like, regardless of what you, like, if you operating in arrogance and confidence and all that stuff, regardless of what you feel like, I don't care about how you feel. This is getting done. Now, me, or those of righteousness, let me put it that way, those of righteousness, regardless of how I feel and you feel, if it goes against the Most High, I'm not doing, or this is gonna get done for the Most High sake, not for my sake or your sake. That's the difference. Now they close. You know, I keep trying to, like, when I warn people about stuff like this, they, they kind of, they like I said before, like a lot of women got apathy, like a lot of them, but it was due to trauma. Like they were transformed into being apathetic, so it wasn't, they not just naturally apathetic. It don't happen that way. Most of the time, you get traumatized into being an apathetic individual, or especially if you're an actor. Oh, yeah, you definitely get traumatized. Actors, musicians, people that want to play with, you know, a lot of, a lot of carnality. They develop a case of apathy. They no longer they no longer feel guilty. They become hard-hearted, or just a wild, a wild poisonous tree, or poison oak. Or they're completely acting off of the tree of good and good and evil, the tree of knowledge. And they operate off the tree of knowledge. They don't operate off the tree of life. And operating off the tree of knowledge, I mean, you can get twisted and perverse operating off that tree. If you understand what that tree has done to us. I ain't telling y'all this for my own. I'm telling y'all this to warn y'all. Like, it's a lot of people that y'all deal with that are apathetic in nature, and you have no idea. Especially if they can commit an act and not feel guilty or not feel bad. The ones that avoid accountability, those are people that demonstrate apathy. They demonstrate apathy. Now, I'm starting to see it a lot more in women than I do in men now, so the roles are kind of being reversed, but I mean, it's a slippery slope. It is, and you have to be very discerning. And that's why you have to observe who they follow. Do you follow the Most High? Do you follow this? Like, people that operate in doing what they want to do, regardless of how you feel about it. Now, they might be well intended and they still have their emotions about what they want to do. Now, they say it's narcissistic, I guess you would say. Now, I don't know, because, like I said, if you don't feel guilt or shame, it's far from just narcissistic. That's apathy. And those that are extremely successful, they know how to operate in that state of being or that state of mind. Which is why YAHUAH wants you cold or hot. Lukewarm, he'll spit you out. This means that when you're lukewarm, you have no structure. When you're lukewarm, you have no structure. Your structure is chaotic. There is no structure in chaos. It's a fallen structure. So even when you're cold, you still have structure, which is why these people still have businesses or, high in ranking or elitist and all those types of things. And once again, they don't know any better. They might not even believe in the Most High at all, or they're just doing their best to cover him up. They done became so wicked, just like Lucifer. Lucifer done became so wicked, he don't got no emotions and feelings anymore. He's completely apathetic. And he's charming. and he's charismatic, and he know how to get you out of your, hey, he know how to get you out of your space. So just be careful when you run into these individuals, y'all. And and just give all praises to the Most High, Yahuwah. Worry about how he feels. Trust me. Worry about how the Most High Yahuwah feels. Alright? Don't be worrying about how you feel. Yahuwah will be done. And in Yahusha's name, Yahusha will is done. It's all to a completion. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm trying to wake y'all up. Which is stuff I'm becoming aware of. And the Most High make me talk about. Anyhow, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And I love you. I love you, and I appreciate you for listening. Also, hit that thumbs up button. And if you have any discrepancies with my content, hop in them comments. I'm completely appreciative of you guys for listening to me. And you know, I'm going to have more for you, but I definitely had a revelation about why the Most High Yahuwah wants you hot or cold or hot. Cold or hot. Cold or hot. Unrighteous or righteous. Good or bad. And yes, have a concept of morals. Because regardless of what your concept of morals is, whatever you imagine, kind of comes. And emotionally and mentally, it comes to pass. People been operating on autopilot, so be careful with that, y'all. And there's some people that's real good at it. Now, ones that are hot or cold or hot, they have structure. They have concentration. They have uninterrupted pattern. Uninterrupted concentration, regardless of what's going on. But get in that mind state of trying to understand what I'm talking about. Please. And I'm going to read from the word. Give me some time. But I got y'all. Trust me. It's all love, y'all, man. I just want y'all to be careful out here dealing with people, because there's a lot of people out here that got a lot of apathy. And they don't even know it. And also apathy is a feeling state. It's not what people think. But I digress. I love you. I do. And I care about y'all well-being. Seek the Most High Yahuwah. He'll guide you. Seek the Ruach HaKodesh. Breathe. And exalt Yahuwah. Exalt his angels. Bless his angels. Bless his surroundings. Pray for those that spitefully use you. Pray for them, because they don't know no better. None of these people know any better. They don't know what they're doing. You know, a lot of people get involved with these laws and they don't understand what's about to happen, because their eternity is in jeopardy. Everybody that operated in these laws unrighteously, their eternity is in jeopardy. and they know it. Some of them know it, and some of them just don't care. They try to figure out a way to live forever. So, even though they still gonna live forever regardless, that's just something they're unaware of. But I digress. I'll see y'all in the next video. I have some more for you.